Go. This morning I am interviewing Dianna Cates Dunn as part of the Stories We Tell exhibit. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, well, tell me, Dianna, why do you paint?
Because I'm selfish. I do it for me. Totally for me. It's the one thing in my whole life that has just fulfilled me totally, and that's all. I don't. Why does anyone do anything? Because they love it, usually, unless we have that awful 4-letter word called work, which should be fun, but our world has made it not fun. But no, I paint because it's what I need. It feeds me. It's all about me. I'm a Generation Xer.
Great. And how do you find your inspirations?
Oh, well, when I started painting, I first started the traditional realism way, with still lifes and landscapes. And I learned a lot of technique that way, but I was never happy with my paintings. They never sang to me. They never made me feel good. So it was finally when I started learning about abstracts that I could learn to paint from what I call the inside out, rather than painting the outside in. And that happened 25 years ago or so. And I just started in abstracts and totally loved it, still do. And you were a part of the whole journey where Tula entered my life in abstract form, and that has kept me motivated. Basically, even Tula's me coming out. It's my connection with the world, it's my connection with my family, it's my connection with life. And that's where the motivation comes from. I want to share that, and yet I still know that if I never sold a painting, never showed a painting, that all the paintings I have bring me such great joy. And so I'll just plaster my own house with them. Which I do. So.
Okay, but Tula though has such a message, your message, her message that you.
Yeah, I think Tula came out when I was so searching for why I did not feel as a person fulfilled, why I suffered from depression, why I beat myself up so often over the smallest of things. I think what I was doing is trying to get my happiness by making other people happy. If I made them happy, then somehow I was justified and it made me happy. And through Tula and so many events at that time that came into my life, I learned that no, I'm the only one who can make me happy. And I absolutely had to stop making others happy and listen to my own voice and what made me happy, what made me want to get up in the morning and sing, which is pretty awful if you ever heard me sing. But I still sing because it's fine to me, a little tone deaf maybe. But that's where Tula came from. She does represent so much of, I realize now, this is after over 50 Tula paintings. I realize that as I look at them, they speak to me about something I may have repressed, or about something I may have wanted to do and didn't do, or even better, something I did do and yet later, midlife or so, cut it out of my life because, I didn't have time for that because I was so busy taking care of others or doing for others or pleasing others. I mean, it didn't have to be family. It could be a boss at work. It could be a neighbor. It was always my job to make them happy. And where that came from, but I'm so glad I recognize it now. I still try to make people happy. I don't want to make people unhappy per se, but I don't have to please people, and if they don't like it, that's their issue, not mine.
So really then the story, your story, Tula's story, starts off saying, you don't have to be a people pleaser. Let me help you find a different way. Be a strong woman with a different
And
message.
I told you that Tula is probably physically so much like my maternal grandmother. And on my maternal side, I have all these wonderful, strong women role models. And I think you're right. I just didn't recognize it when Tula first came. You know, I've been slowly opening doors and windows in my own psyche, and I've also at the same time been closing others.
Sure.
So yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So you know, I think that's why Tula will continue, because we as people never stop growing.
Right.
Never. Up to the day. In fact, we grow even past what I call a transition. So it's just eternal.
It's just our stories are kind of never ending.
Never ending story.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, we could have done that. Oh, excuse me. Allergies. Oh, so yeah.
Excellent.
I think thank you. That was a great insight. I like that.
Well, you know, I think that as you know, I've been working on my voice and my story, and just the little insights that come out as we paint. Isn't it great?
It is. And even those, the other thing of, as we've talked in painting, is about how we create problems. And yet, you know, when I have a problem, oftentimes I'm at my best, because you're very focused on the easel. And when you work through and solve the problem, it's the greatest feeling. And only you knew about the problem, and only you know the feeling. So highly personal. Yeah. And finding your own voice, I think that's the other thing Tula allowed me to do, to be confident in what I had painted before, but also knowing that she's allowed me to express myself in what some people are calling flat work. I always love that expression, meaning there's maybe not as much dimension or depth to the paintings. And yet for me, it's a little bit in your face. And I like that. I mean, she's not beating you up. She's not trying to. She's inviting you to meet her. But she's not shy about it. She's not going to recede into the background. So all those little...
How fun.
Yeah.
And so you've been doing some other work recently too that isn't just Tula, but how is the Tula series and that work leading you into,
you know, that's
other
interesting, because I do abstract work, pure abstract work, and then I do Tulas. And I have absolutely no problem. Tula, though, I will get a specific image in my head. I've got one now that I will be sketching up and trying to work for another Tula. But when I do abstracts, again, it's from the inside out, it's emotional. The last abstract I did was, you all commented about how soft the colors were. And I think that was probably a reaction to all the nastiness going on politically with the Capitol, invasion, whatever you want to call that horrible thing. And I think I was just clinging on to the tender, soft beauty of the world.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
How our palettes kind of change a little bit based on outside influences.
Yeah, well, and how the outside influence is making us feel.
Yeah.
That. So I felt tender and soft, and it came out in the painting, which is what always surprises me. Like, where'd that come from? And then you have to think back on it. But no, I love still doing abstracts and doing Tulas, and who knows what's in the future. But because we just never stop.
Right.
And that's the other thing. Painting never gets boring. It's not like, I've done these taxes 14,000 times this tax season, or I don't know, whatever people do in their jobs that can be repetitive. For some people, that is just fabulous, and for me, the painting is what is fabulous.
Mm-hmm.
Always
Mm-hmm.
having that repetition in my life, knowing that it's always there.
Okay. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much.
Oh,
this
thank
has
you.
been really great,
Thank
and
you.
it's going to be a great show.
I hope so. I
Yeah.
hope so. Come see it.
Okay.